Hey folks, got a little bit of painting we're gonna attempt to do here, and I just remember something I was doing. I've gotten in the habit of doing it, so let's crank that up. That's having a computer here for in case of any questions. That helps a lot. Let's move that thing up, and then we will get on our next project, which we just got done. And make sure the volume is completely down on this. And we're going to go here. Okay. Here. Last little thing here. And there. Come on. You can do it. All right. There we go. All right. Now we got a, now we, with the computer beside me being able to look at the questions and stuff. Let's flip this thing around like it should be. All right. And let's zoom this out about so. There we go. That's good. All right, so we just got done with our medieval German. So what's next? Well, we need to finish up our early Russians that we left kind of half done. And honestly, I don't remember where the hell we are on it. So let's take a look. I know that I don't have any of the nightstands, so we've got to take a look at that. Let's see where the progress is on the early Russians. Okay. I know I've got some of these guys complete, but how many, I don't remember exactly. There's extra Bowman and stuff. These are all Merlaton figures. These are Little Big Man Studios decals, and for the flags, we already have the flag done for. Okay, we've already put this. It just needs to go on a pole. It's been sitting there for a while, and here's the shields things. Huh. That doesn't go there. All right, let's see what we got here left. Because it is a total of 15 knights. So it's 5 stands. Let's see what we've got painted. I believe it's the stuff that's in here. So let's just check this out. Make sure this counts out all right. All right. Let's take these off for the time being. Oh, here's a figure that never made it. This is a figure that I was going to do for my later Muslim Indian. Set him off to the side. They just get thrown in here when I don't know where to put them. I believe I've got 5 of these knights complete. So let's check and see if that's the case. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's incorrect. There was he's not complete. Right. So we've got these guys are done. There's a total of 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's not done over here. Okay, so that means there's 10 left to do. And I started working on this one and this one. So there should be 10 more. All right. These 2 and this one. That's the general. That's the big man himself. And what else do we got here? We got Here's the guy blowing the horn. Okay, here's the guy that's going to hold the banner because I replaced this with a needle or a steel pin. So, disc, we'll put where the other discs are. All right, see what this comes up to. This is Spanish. Oh, this is the figure for Charles V, for my Renaissance army. Yeah, it's a minifix figure on an Essex horse. We'll set him like this. I don't know what the hell he's doing there. He's trying to sneak into another army. All right, let's see if there's 10 guys here. If there is, then this all makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It doesn't make any sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of these guys isn't going to go. All right, well, we don't know who that is yet. It'll just be one that we have left over. Let's see if we can adjust this to... Oh, geez, the default on the computer is 144p. That's pitiful. Come on. All right. Yeah, so one of these guys isn't going to go. Well, he's definitely going to go. He's definitely going to go. He's already started, so he's going to go. His horse is painted, so he's going to go. The guy blows the horn, he's going to go. One of these guys here isn't going to happen. I'm not sure who it is right now. I'm not going to worry about it right this second. These are the next two that will be worked on, because these guys are complete. So we're going to set them off to the side. Because after these guys are done, I get to work on the next army. And I don't know exactly who that's going to be. I think I have it narrowed down, but we'll see. I could change my mind at any moment. We're going to go ahead and throw these guys in this box. These are figures from Merleton, and I believe I bought this army when they had just come out. Which could be every bit of like 12 years ago or something like that. All right, these are the two guys that we need to finish up. All right, let's have flags over here. Let's go Bowman. All right. So this guy's not started at all. This guy is almost to the point where I've got to put that decal on him. Yay. From Little Big Man Studios. Those are a pain in the butt. They turn out well, but they honestly scare the living crap out of me. They seem really high risk. All right, let's take a sip of some liquid. Move that out of view. Oh man, come on. Okay. Don't fall down. Oh, these are just a banner sheet, but after a day at work, I'm not looking for any other excuses to bend over, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, this is completely frozen. Let's see if that works. That may not work. There's other people home drawing from our shitty internet, so who knows if they do that at all. All right. Let's see where we left off on this guy. This guy's got a, his lance needs to be painted still. Okay. All right, first things first, let's touch up with black anything that may have gotten chipped up with them being thrown in this box. Because it's been, they have not been at the forefront of anything for probably a couple of years now. I don't remember exactly when my Russians were complete, but It's been a couple years. Seems like it. Might even be 3 years. I was going to build these guys for a tournament and didn't get enough time and played the army anyways. I used Ostrogoth's knights instead of these guys, and I won the tournament. So all of a sudden my motivation to finish them was like, oh, let's just move on to the next army. All right, and we're going to need one more thing, and that is this. All right. Hey, this is all out of whack here. Let's take this, move it to the edge. Take this, move it to the edge. All right. I'm just going to touch up anything on here that was black and got chipped up. Doesn't mean it's going to stay black, but yeah, people coming in. Welcome, folks. We're figured we'd get some painting done today because this is going to be a weekend where you're not going to see me paint. I'm going to be out of town this weekend and the next one. So those long ass painting sessions like we did last weekend are not going to be last weekend and the weekend after that and the weekend before that one. Okay. What you working on? Joe, I don't know. You don't have an icon, but every time your name comes up, it's always that magenta colored. I don't know why. That's the default for Joe. Out of town for work or play? Oh, it's always play. I luckily don't go out of town for work on the weekends or during the week. Jared Heine. Did you end up web surfing figures for Maurice? I looked for him for a little bit. I looked at, I mainly wanted to see if my hero sculptor, Dave Alsop's casts were the 7 Years War stuff. And from what I can tell, they are not. That doesn't mean I don't like the castings. So I like the way Old Glory does their stuff, okay? But some of their armies, the 7 Years War stuff, most of the things are painted in units. And I don't think they're painted particularly well. So they're actually, in my opinion, doing them a disservice. I wish they just had them unpainted. But from the ones that are unpainted that I can tell on there, which I think from like each nationality is only like one pack of like, I don't know, there might be like Fusiliers or something like that, or Jaegers or something like that. Yeah, I don't think it's his sculpts. So, yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, the site pictures are crap. Yeah, it's a shame. I would rather people don't show painted figures. If you can't have them painted like Legio Heroica, don't have them painted. You know. Patrick Harvey, good evening. This is the first time I've been able to watch you live. Why do you place gloss coat under the dull coat? It seals better. I didn't come up with it. If you looked under a microscope of a surface, if you were spray painting, even this tank, um, you want the gloss that covers all the pores, so to speak, to get a good seal. And then, of course, you want the flat so it doesn't look like it's been raining on the vehicle or what have you, or the figure. And then what I've been doing on top of that is do the brush on flat extra to make it extra not shiny. So back to back Tony less weekends coming up. Yeah, unfortunately. Um, Old Glory, 15 millimeters, S 7 years of work. Excellent pictures of crap. Yeah, I was gonna send them because I like Old Glory. I've got several armies painted with them, and I was gonna send them pictures, but I'm like, nah, they pay you like extra lead, and I didn't need it, and I just like, nah, I got lazy and never did it. I don't need more lead. I'm good. Yeah, the pictures really don't do them a good service, but I haven't played the rules, so I don't know what it is. I honestly, I just wanted to surf the figures. I'm probably never going to get around to painting. Now, if you go and if you look at the rule set, Maurice, on Board Game Geek, Board Game Geek has pictures of different things on there. There's a guy who has, it's one of the first pictures that comes up. He's got these, I believe they're Prussians, and they're in stands that are probably about this size. So they're maybe this deep, which what would that be? 60 by 80, and they've got, I don't know, 20 or 30 figures on them, and they look really nice. But yeah, that's a lot of painting. That's a lot of painting and stuff. And I'm not going to assembly line them or do some dip method. I'm gonna if I'm gonna paint things, I'm gonna do them the best of my ability. I just can't. I can't do one of those things. I'm not a speed painter, but I just kind of wanted to. I love surfing figures. Now, I was thinking that the figures that because the guy that I like, Dave Alsop, he supposedly the back history is he started along with the current owner, Old Glory, and did all the original sculpts, as far as I understand it, in the mid to late '80s or something like that. And I can surf figures and go, that's his sculpting. Like, if you go and look at the American Civil War stuff, a lot of American Civil War, like Ragged Rebs and stuff like that, are all his sculpts. Um, yeah, I've come across some of his other things in there that are some of his original Napoleonics were his. It's his style, and it's also his poses. I like his poses. They're not weird like Essex poses or anything like that. The other guy that does, and I have no idea who the other guy is that does the Old Glory. Yeah, they are fabulous. The problem with it is I don't care about the American Civil War. I mean, if let me tell you something extreme. I love wargaming, but if the only wargaming that was allowed was American Civil War, I wouldn't do any wargaming because I just don't care about the American Civil War at all. I don't know that there's a period that I care for less than that. Just doesn't interest me. I'm not interested in the period, and I'm not interested in the two sides that fought. I'm already American, so it's not very exciting for me. I'd much rather do like Lace Wars or something like that, which also isn't really exciting, but I would rather do that. I'd much rather do English Civil War than American Civil War. It's just not my thing. But yes, his sculpts are incredible. Incredible. So I found out about him because they're my 20 mils that are done by him. They're sitting right here. Some of them, anyways. These are all of his work, and they just have so much detail, and the poses are. This is actually an old figure when I used to do two coats of semi-gloss. I don't know. We didn't have the internet. We couldn't communicate with each other. I tried it one time, and it looked good. And I recently came back, and at some point I'm going to refurbish these. Well, they don't need to be repainted. They just need to be put flat gloss, flat coat on them, which he does now. I put some brush on stuff, and obviously redo the bases, because this is how we used to do things in the 1990s. You know, we didn't have all the cool stuff. Here's another one. These are all British Riflemen, but they even have the rank castings actually in 3 dimension. Okay, it's got the semicircle there, where it would tell you what the name of the division is, or regiment, I forget which one. This one actually has a little square for the division. I believe this is what the 50th used. It's like a couple T's or something like that. All I could manage was a little red dot in there to give you the impression. But this is 2 coats of semi-gloss on this guy. And this guy was probably painted around 1997, something like that, using the same method that I do now, just pre-Vallejo. Vallejo didn't exist, or it didn't exist here anywhere near me. So this is all Games Workshop paints and Poly S, and what else would I have had at that point? Mainly those 2 things. The old Games Workshop paints, the good ones. I guess the new ones are okay as well. Here's another British Rifleman. I actually only have 4 Brits painted, but I went to a store. We'd travel to a store, and I've always loved World War II and World War II skirmish and 20 millimeter. You know, when I grew up, that's if you want vehicles. This is every vehicle was available in like model kits. So, and every figure is different. You know, so I don't have 4 of these figures running around like this. Every single figure is different. Everyone has a name, a surname on the figure. So that's just how I roll. So yeah, they're still painted good by today's standards. Not the basic, that's horrible. But yeah, I have them over here to, I don't know, I was going to mess with them. I kept thinking that I was going to go ahead and put them on a, base them up while I was doing some of the other basing, but I don't want to get pulled into too many different directions. But yeah, I surfed and saw that what figures they made, and yeah, the figures they have on there don't really do them justice. The other sculptor that Old Glory has, that I have most of his stuff, he's good too, but his faces are just they're very bug-eyed looking, you know. A lot of them look a lot like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Total Recall when he's running out of air. If you remember what I'm talking about. A little too bug-eyed for my taste, but the rest of them was fine. I don't know what other sculptor is, but okay. So this guy here. Oh, we need to still do the bunch of black stuff on here. Yeah, the painting still holds up. Your painting still holds up. Just the basic. You know, we didn't have the internet. And I don't care about that whole Netscape or whatever there was on it. I didn't do none of that shit. I didn't have my own computer until February 1999. So, and then after that, I mean, things were still in their infancy. Now we can share ideas and easy to post pictures. And man, that guy looks really good. What did you do? And you pass information on between each other. And, we keep each other from going into the dark ages. So things are a lot better now in that respect. So, okay, maybe a little bit down here. And you guys probably want to see me do a Little Big Man Studios decal, but man, I don't know if I've worked up to that. I kind of turned back into a virgin here. I haven't done it in a couple of years. It's really scary. They turn out really well. But the thing is you have to go all the way through the entire process to see exactly how they turn out. Because, for instance, these don't look very good. Okay? You see, these are not sealed yet. I'm going to seal these all at once. I don't know if this can turn out, but it looks glossy. There we go. There you go. See that shine on there? It looks glossy. And when I end up putting the gloss coat over it and then do the flat coat over it, yeah, they're not glossy at all. They turn out really well. So I was underimpressed when I did the Spearmen, which I did them first. And then I'm like, I'm just going to power through it and we'll just do the best we can. And then when I was done spraying, I'm like, holy crap. I was wrong. Now, what we're going to do here is the way the Little Big Man Studios decals work, if you guys aren't familiar with them, and wherever you're going to put them, you have to put them on white. And the way they work is you take this decal and you cut out what it is, but what you're actually seeing is the reverse side. This side you see is what goes up against the shield. So you cut this thing out so you can manipulate it easier. And then you have to take an X-Acto knife, not an old one, but a sharp one, and cut right around the rim of the actual design. Then you'll peel this plastic, because there's a thin coat of plastic on here that protects the, let's see if I can get this to, okay. Once you peel this thing off, the back of all of this is sticky. It's slightly sticky. It's not super sticky, but you already have to have this cut the size you want. You peel this off, and then you take that and you press that on the decal what you want. So all you can see from the front side looks like this. Okay, you can't even see the design. It's very hard to see if it's centered. Then you take a little bit of water with a, you let it sit on there for like 30 minutes. 30 seconds. You press it down hard. It's got to be on a white surface, okay? So it doesn't matter what the shield design is. It has to be, you have to paint it white, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure I got a good white surface on there. You press that thing on, wait 30 seconds. Then you come in with a brush with some clean water and paint over the backside with water, with just clean water. Wait about 20 seconds or more, and then peel the paper off, and the decal will stay. But the only problem I have with the entire process is that sometimes these holes aren't centered, okay? They're close, but they're not perfectly centered. And when you're putting it on from the back side, you can't see the design. So you're almost like doing it blind, but they work really well. But that's my only gripe. I wish there were water slide decals, because then you could put your microsol or microset on there and move that thing around till you get it exactly how you want it, and then dab the extra water in and bang, you're done. They decided not to go with this. So this is almost like cross between a water slide decal and a dry transfer. It's like a dry transfer that's water activated. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's it works really well. It's just extremely stressful for somebody who's been doing this kind of stuff for almost 40 years, not quite. And then, you come up with some kind of a challenge like this, but they turn out okay, All right, enough of that. But would I buy more of these? Absolutely. I have no problem with these decals. It's just it's kind of humbling. It's humbling when you've got to relearn stuff. Because this is really pretty mindless. Now, what happens if you put the decal and it's black, where it's going, all of the colors in this will be extremely muted. Okay, it's almost like it needs a reflective white background to make the colors vivid. You see how they're vivid like this? Well, they're on a white background. If you put this on black, it's going to become very, very dark. It's not going to look right. So. Okay, I think that's enough on that. All right, lance colors. What do we have? We've got a bunch of natural colors. All right, we'll do natural color lance for this guy too. How about this color right here? What game am I basing these up for? Well, that's that silly DBA that we played, Debilis Antiquitatis 3.0. That's what we do. And what I say, 10 figures, including this one? Yeah, and then we can move on to the next army. And I don't want to declare what army it's going to be, okay? Because I don't know. This is going to take me, these 10 figures, probably going to take me, I'm going to say a month to do, a roundup. We'll try to do better than that, but there's no guarantee. During that month, I'm percolating in my head what I'm going to come up with, what army I'm going to do next, and I haven't yet decided. I'm close. I thought I knew which one I was going to do, and then I kind of had a new finalist that came up to me. I had a epiphany the other day, and it's going to be an army you haven't seen. Okay, so it's not going to be medieval French. It's going to be an army that's not really popular. That's part of the attraction for me. There's no point in me showing you, some other army that you guys see all the time. So I don't think it's going to be the Zanj guys that I put together. But I promise it'll be cool. Mr. Paul, welcome from the land down under, where it's tomorrow. It's Tomorrowland. How's the weather outlook look tomorrow? So yeah, I don't want to tell people, hey, I'm going to go work on the Welsh. And then a month from now, I changed my mind. I'm not going to work on the Welsh. I get enough of that crap at work. I call having the rug pulled out from under you. 28 degrees centigrade, no cloud. That's hot, I think. 30's hot. You guys are getting ready for winter. No fair. I love winter. Yeah, so I don't want to declare who it's going to be, and then, oh yeah, I changed my mind. That doesn't do anybody any good. But it's just difficult. I got to think about it hard because it's probably a 6 month. If it's the army, I think I'm going to be doing. It's more than a 6 month coincidence. It's a 6 month commitment. We'll see. A little more than that. Because I don't get much of an opportunity to do this in the middle of the week. I'm just too tired. And usually I go during the week and I don't have this many people on. So if you guys join me, that helps. But just, sitting by myself, not my idea of a good time, especially when I'm doing this when I'm the most tired. That's why I like doing morning painting. I'm the most rested then, you know. Mix up some coffee and go to town. So DVA is still going strong at the East Coast cons. Not like before. Not like before, and there's no more cons. We generally, the ones that we run this in Florida, we almost always get somewhere between 8 and 14 players. There you go. Do that morning painting. 8 to 14 players consistently. Yeah, that's good enough for me. I mean, sometimes you get 6. I don't think we've gotten over 14 in a long time. People are just nomadic. People will, guys will come in, they'll try a system for a while, and then, you know. Jared Heine. Getting cold, well into fall, 57 degrees and cloudy. Yeah. So I don't worry about the numbers too much. I mean, people are just going to come and go. You just have to stay the course. You know, there's no rules out there that I've seen that really appeal to me. Now, I've looked at To the Strongest. That looks like it might be fun to play, but I'm just not going to rebase my armies. I've just invested too much time in them. I mean, I've got like what 34 armies or something like that, and each one of them is a couple of hundred hours of painting, maybe even more than that. I'm just not going to start over, you know. So I said this on one of the other videos. I can't guarantee that I'm always going to play DBA. I may not be playing DBA 10 years from now, but I'm going to be playing a game similar to it, and it might be and the game I'm going to be playing isn't out yet. So I don't know what that means. That means we'll either come up with our own house rule type game, or something else will come out that really hits the mark. But they all have their weaknesses, you know. At the end of the day, they're just a game, and they're fun, and they're a reasonable way um, to paint figures, get motivated to paint figures. And yeah, there's no game that's perfect. You might even have to come up with your own game, but I don't have a huge motivation to do that. Um, if I did that, it would be a free game. It wouldn't be to charge anything. So it's not like I'm going to do it to make money. I'm just going to do it because it's a better game. But no plans to do that anytime soon. And that's why I have such a hard time doing the World War II stuff, because I love World War II stuff, and I've got a set of rules of World War II that I like. But the problem is I'm going to have to paint stuff for everybody, which is okay because I'd really like how it looked. But and I have a fair amount of it as well. But I got to relearn how to play the rules. I'm just not there anymore. I'm more interested in painting. You know, if I wanted to play a lot of World War II stuff, I could just fire up the old close combat and have some of that. You know, um, interesting. Played a lot of Still Strong. It's okay, but it gets a bit boring after a while. Most games are the same: line up and smash each other. No need to rebase. Purchase Blitzkrieg Commander 4. I'm leaning towards the easier games now, too. Well, I'm leaning towards the games you can finish. That's the problem with World War II. I can't compromise detail. It's almost like a religion. And it's like, I just gotta have it all, or I just won't play it. And I'm okay not playing World War II. That's all we used to play. So um, I can't do it, you know? I can't do that. I mean, I could never play a DBA type game of World War II where it's like, okay, these are medium tanks. Well, what are they? Are they T-34s? Are they M4 Shermans? And if they're Shermans, what are they? Do they have wet stowage or no? They're just medium tanks. Nope, can't play that. Sorry. Nope, can't do it. It's just not my thing. So, and you're not going to be able to finish games in an evening. So that's why I do this. Even though I'm really a World War II guy, not a ancients medieval player, but 17 years later, and here we are. Which that means I've been playing this more than I've been playing all the other stuff combined, time wise. Certainly game wise, but I played Command Decision 2. Yeah, we started with the first one and then played the second one. I hated the way infantry was handled. It was boring. Spear. And you didn't have many times to have meaningful decisions. See, that's the strong suit of this game. You have meaningful decisions all the time. It may be abstracted and it may be genericized, sometimes, um, but you almost always have meaningful decisions. And it just didn't seem like there was meaningful decisions in close combat. I mean, in command decision. Spearhead, crossfire, bolt action. I played bolt action one time. That didn't do it for me. Flames of War. I was never really satisfied with any of them. Yeah. Easy H Battleground show a ton of promise, but burn out just as it got momentum. I had a copy of the rules. Uh, it didn't do it for me. It seemed a little too generic. Um, but now I'm hooked on meaningful decisions. If I play a game, I don't care that the game moves slow. I don't care that the game has a lot of detail. I just want to feel like I've got lots of options, not like, well, of course I'm going to sit here and shoot because doing anything else is just dumb. Well, then you might as well just put the game on autopilot, you know? My gripe with DBA is actually that you spend too much time doing things that should be easy to do and things that should be complicated or too easy. What I mean is they could have more detail in combat. The combat could be more varied than it is now. But it just makes too much effort to line up in contact with the geometry and stuff. That needs to be simplified somehow. And but again, I don't want to get into that right now because that's gonna be time that when you get right down to it, what I'm doing right now is totally mindless and it's therapy. Creating rules is not therapeutic for me. So maybe I'll get around to it, maybe I won't. We'll just do this for now. Yeah, we're entering the busy season. This seems like around the end of March, just it's until like July is just go, 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 one thing after another on the weekends and stuff. So that's why when the girls left out of town, I'm like, well, we better let's get all our painting on. And I think I don't even remember. Was that last weekend or the weekend before last? Anyways, the weekend that they were gone, I ended up getting like 12 hours of painting or something like that done in over 5 videos. So yeah, get that stuff done while we can. I have not tried Field of Glory. Well, I have on the computer. I don't like that you don't have pips. You can do whatever you want as long as the troops are in good order. I don't like that. Um, so yeah, I'm playing Field of Glory. I'm in a tournament right now and another one right now. So, oh, Paul, you're playing that too. Yeah, you can get your game on that way. It's okay. I like the medieval one more than the ancient one. It looks a lot better. Although I bought it and I'm like, what do you mean there's no Spanish here? What the hell? It's missing all kinds of stuff because I know that they're going to do expansions. And I don't mind paying for the expansions, but I want all the expansions now. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait 6 months, a year. I may be tired of the game by then. No, I would love to play DBMM. It's just too many troops. And I don't want to play 100 games and get the game. It's going to take 100 games to play one correctly. I, I've said this before. I'm not going to play another one of Phil Barker's games. Not because he's not a genius. He's a genius. It just it's just too difficult. It's just too difficult to try to decipher, and he doesn't organize the rules as most people are used to them being rules being organized. And he's a smart guy, but more people would appreciate his stuff if it wasn't. Let's just say he leaves this weird sentence structure the way it is. Just, put all the rules for the war wagons in one place. Not like, Well, some of it is here, some of it is under the unit description, some of it is in the combat part. It's just written, it's just organized really poorly, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions too. Not that the calls that he made on rulings and stuff are incorrect. There's a lot of there's a lot of hidden gems in there, but man, it's a difficult to get through it. So yeah, I'm not learning how to play any of this stuff again because I'm just going to get confused playing DBA. I go back to it. So what are you moving around for? Um, and it doesn't solve the contacting thing. Um, Nothing out there solves the contacting thing. Where you can just have, one unit is. What do I have? Do you have any stands around here? No, I have no stands. One unit is like this, and another unit is like this, and they fight. Why not? Why can't they fight? Damn it! Oh no, well they gotta line up, and then they can't even line up like that. They gotta line up. No, that's just that's just weird, and it takes a lot of It takes you. It doesn't look right. I understand why it's done, but if I'm learning how to play another set of rules of ancient stuff, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to have that. He's a genius and bad even ever. He is. He's a smart guy. He's a nice guy. I've met him. And I get why he wants to make his game how he wants to make it. It's his game. I get it. It'd be like somebody saying, "I don't like how you painted your medieval Germans. I would have painted them red instead of yellow." Well, screw you. You paint your own damn army how you want to. That'd be my response too. But yeah, it's just a shame. It's just a shame that I don't even say any of the rules need to be changed. Just it just needs to be easier to. And I'm telling you, it's like he can have it all fine and dandy, but the rest of us that are out in the trenches, trying to recruit other people to play the game, yeah, we're the ones suffering every freaking time. So, and it's been suggested, well, you should make an unofficial guide. Well, it's not my rules. If I'm going to go through all that effort, I'll just make my own rules, and it'll solve the conforming thing. And people have said, well, the conforming thing's that way because you've never tried to play other rules where it didn't have it. That's right, I haven't, but we play a lot, so I'm sure we'd be able to. We've gone to the freaking moon. Why can't you play a game where you conform that way? Armadi plays that way. Now Armadi doesn't have pips, so you know I'm not saying I'd rather play Armadi, but they solved it. So okay, let's get. We have any of this metallic color left? We do. Excellent. For some reason, I did not paint the rim of this helmet, and actually, there's a little bit of fuzz here. Let's see if we can get rid of it. Ooh, this brush has seen better days. These guys have been in storage for. That's some Chinese brush we're not going to use. Have we really gone to the moon? Yeah. Come on, the people in government can't even keep a blowjob under wraps. They would have spilt the beans by now. Let's see, where is my metal, that color that I transferred that I should have never transferred because it was a stupid, but it made me discover airbrush thinner. Ultimately, it's a good thing. There were line leads, line study, line principles, and line chart. Current rules. And the perfect example I'll show you is, if you play Mongols in DBA, you don't walk around feeling like you played Mongols. You walk around feeling like You just move things around. It's a good game. It just doesn't make you feel. It doesn't make you want to like read more Mongol stuff because you didn't feel like you played them. At least in my opinion. Maybe somebody else feels like they really played, the army, but I mean, we've played a lot of freaking games. So it's not like, I was just reading, I was brainstorming what my next army is going to be. And this particular army has a unit that I'm not very familiar with. So I started reading up about them. And man, I was trying to figure out, okay, well, this happens here. I was just trying to extract all the information. And it's just in so many different places that I'm like, man, I think this is how you play those units. But, we're not going to find that out until we actually lay them out there. So it just shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, some of us are college educated and not stupid, and are successful at our day jobs and do our taxes correctly. It just shouldn't be that difficult. You know, do something meaningful. I mow the lawn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that on Sunday, I think. Um, Huns, Mongols, any other steppe army is incredibly tough on a 2.2. Well, we play on 30 by 30. It's just they just don't behave like they should, and they're okay against knights the way they behave, but against heavy foot, it just seems so damn wrong. Yeah, I have a hard time with light horse. I feel like they're represented totally incorrectly, but you just deal with them because you want to play a good game, but I wouldn't have done it that way. But we got some ideas. Well, they might have some ideas, but they haven't brainstormed about it. I've got some ideas to do with some historical battles. If we do, like, if I build these Russians and play them with the Mongols, special rules for that particular battle only, and then see if that develops into something else. But at the current time, the Mongols are in the queue, but I'm not going to get to them anytime soon. It's going to cause me to try to work on the rules, and I really don't have a whole lot of interest in that. That's going to keep me from painting. All right, this guy needs a scabbard. I have to discern what the hell this guy has. Is that metal as well? I think it is. Sometimes you kind of have to make heads or tails out of what exactly this is molded on here. Okay, we're going to sell these gloves are leather. I've been looking at 100-point art de la guerre as an alternative to DBA. I've watched a couple of videos on art de la guerre and does a couple of other things that that are cool. It doesn't handle the conforming like I'd like it to, and perfect game to combine the pip aspect DVX with a core horrible mechanics ability to avoid geometry with combat. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get there. I promise that if we do our own thing, it'll be awesome. Because you know what? One thing we do, we play a lot, and we really try to break, as I like to say, try to get milk out of a brick. So we'll try to abuse it. And if you abuse it, you just have to unabuse it, or something's wrong. So yeah. I've watched a couple of games of Art Delegator videos. I don't think that it solved anything, and I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like that what I saw was, Phil has a thing in DBMM called Brilliant Generals. Okay, and I took the list and I ran a tournament where it has brilliant and inert generals, and I ran a thing where you got a bonus in this one tournament if you had to play an army with one of these brilliant generals or whatever. And I got a copy of DBM. I got a copy of Art de la Guerre, and every army that in DBMM has a brilliant general. So does Art de la Guerre. So it's like, what'd you do? Like rip Bill Barker's army lists off? I don't know. I got a bad feeling about it. Like, I see if you took it and like made your own take on it, but the charge for somebody else's work, I mean, I'm not saying the guy could be sued, but why didn't he get sued? It just was just very blatant. It was just very blatant the way that was lifted, in my opinion. So, but ultimately the geometry didn't appeal to me. But if you enjoy playing it, and you have to play the stuff that your people in your area play, you can't be like, well, I'm not going to play such and such. Well, everybody else in your area plays it, so you kind of have to, So, in this year's Buddy Wars between Field of Glory and Authority on the Gaps, so it's day 15. Yeah, I never played DBM. Had the books, bought the books. I bought the DBMM books for the reference material, but do we want to use this? I mean, obviously we're going to dull this down. Yeah, F it. I pulled it out. I'm not saying they should be sued because if there's anything our current society has too much of, it's too litigious. But people just ought to know better, man. You just don't do stuff like that. You don't take somebody else's work and then sell it. It's not like you're going to sell one copy and become rich and never have to work again. I mean, that's why if I'm like, if we came up with something, it'd be like draw from different sources, different things, and and it's free. It's like we're making exactly nothing. But if we did, we'd probably have to get it copyrighted because I don't want somebody coming out of the blue and then just taking my stuff and then selling it and putting their name on it, which would solve the same problem that I'm trying to avoid, So, I don't know. A lot of the thing is Phil and his army list, there's a lot of army lists where he just pulled things out of his ass. He just did. The information just doesn't exist. It's not there. Okay? You can't just say, well, I based it based on the army compositions of certain battles. Okay, fair enough. But there's some battles that nothing is known about the army composition. And I'm talking about stuff like in East Asia. It just doesn't exist. Either it wasn't written down. I mean, the information that we want as war gamers or as painters just doesn't exist. It's like, okay, I'm building the former Qin army at the Battle of the Fei River. Okay. What their uniforms look like. But they don't know. It doesn't exist. It was never written down, or if it was, it was destroyed by somebody that didn't like what legacy they were going to have, or the stuff wasn't written down to the levels that we like. So, how the hell are they going to know what the exact troop composition is of that? They just don't know. So I don't know whatever method he used. He just You know, he just pulled it out of his ass. So, if you create your own army list, you're either taking Phil's work that's pulled out of his ass, not everything, but I'd say at least 50% of the army lists are. So you're either taking his work that he did it, or you're creating your own stuff that you're pulling out of your. It just doesn't. The information just doesn't exist there. So that's why if I did anything else, I would use the DBMM list for them. There would be a derivative of that, and or no, I'm sorry. You'd still use the DBA 3.0 list. So you still have to buy Phil's work, and he still gets the credit for it. He still gets the coin for it. That way it's fair. Scott Gregory, another Scott. You'd be Scott 3. Yeah, thanks for subscribing. I'm here all the time. Welcome to have you. Can work on hobby stuff and entertain each other. That's what this is all about. Hey, every day you can't talk to people about this weird eccentric thing that we all have in common. Not only is it wargaming, it's historical wargaming. Because if this was fantasy, I wouldn't be interested in it. I just assume do something else. If I want to play fantasy, I'd just crank up Diablo. Play some of that or something like that. Go hunt for treasure. You know. Oh, your message got blocked, held for review. Well, we're going to show it because you didn't say anything wrong. If I have any questions about DBA and the army list, I'd pull it out of your ass. Oh, master, yes. Yes. Put a quarter in my mouth and pull it out of my ass. There's the information. I need to do a close. I'm in the middle of doing laundry as well. I will be right back. We're going to get I need to go switch some clothes in the laundry, and I will be back in 10 minutes. Is probably extreme, but I will try to get back as soon as I can. Okay. Let's see what I missed. Hurry, while Tony's gone, someone snag his medieval Germans. Yeah. They actually just added the stats from the other day with the 2 wins they got the other day. Well, I'm not gonna, I was gonna say, well, I'm not gonna spoil the fun, but you guys, look, it's been a day and a half. You guys should have seen that video already. They are now 40-21, so that's pretty respectable. But I've had them a long time. I probably built that army around 2011, 2012, something like that. So I've had them a while now. I got them because of the deep nights. That kind of makes it unique. And I'm off screen over here hanging stuff up, so you'll just have to excuse me, but hopefully you can hear me okay. But yeah, being able to give them a new lease on life as a 3.0 army is kind of nice. But it is an army I've played a reasonable amount, and really like how they look because of those deep nights. So, just need a mounted cross between Bowman and the war wagon for my army. Mounted crossbowman, the war wagon, okay. One thing I like about the games they put on is that it encouraged me to pull out my armies and see how they compare. Honor mode, usually you can have the war wagon. Crappy spec. Oh man. So I actually had a guy many years ago that was like, he was from Miami. I didn't know this guy, but he contacted me and he's like, hey, listen, I want you to paint armies for me. This is before he ever did videos. And I'm like, I don't really paint for other people. If you've heard me talk about my first job that when I worked at a hobby store, I learned right off the bat, this is World War II vet guy, wanted me to, I think he was a World War II vet. Anyways, he was an older guy. He wanted me to build a model for him, which is a big 1/72nd scale. I think it's made by Revell, Blue Devil destroyer. It was a Fletcher class destroyer that was 1/72nd scale. The big kit. This model was probably, I don't know, 3 feet long or something like that. Plastic kit, and it had motorized capability. Maybe it was Lindbergh, something like that. Anyhow, I dreaded every moment I worked on the thing. It wasn't for a ton of money, but I kind of needed money at the time. I just moved out, and I was 19 or whatever. But let me right off the bat, I don't want to paint for people, because then it becomes a chore. Because it's not like you're done with it really quick. If you need extra money, get a second job and work at a Quickie Mart or something like that. You'll rack up coin a lot faster than you will working on your hobbies. And when you work on your hobbies, you end up you dread working on somebody else's hobby, and then when it's your time to work on your hobbies, you don't work on them because you've already done that. So, yeah, I don't paint for people, but this guy was like adamant. No, I'll pay you twice the going rate. And I'm like, I don't care what you pay me. I'm not going to do it. I'm not interested, Now, if you pay me my salary at say a 15% discount, I could be your painting bitch. I'll paint whatever you want. It reminds me of what is that Eddie Murphy routine he used to do, where he says some prostitute or something like that comes up to him and part of his routine and says, I'll do anything for $200. And that's when he says, oh man, I'm pretty sure that was Eddie Murphy. It's probably on Delirious or something like that. Yeah, you pay me my salary, we can do whatever you want, but you can't afford me spending 300 hours on a army. It's ridiculous, Can't afford that. What are you gonna do? Pay me $1 an hour? No, I don't think so. And now I really wouldn't do it because I need the armies to, show you guys games, right? No armies, no games. So what I do is believe is there's people out there. There's always somebody that you're gonna like their painting stuff better than you paint your own. It doesn't matter what. You're always gonna find somebody whose stuff you like better. Even me. There's people, I have my heroes. And I've watched some of those heroes paint, and what I've come to the conclusion is they don't take any shortcuts. There's no way I can say I cut my painting time in half and like how it looks better. It's just not there. I may be able to cut my painting time in half, but I won't like how it looks as much. So that's not really a solution I want to move forward with. So I've just accepted the fact that it's just going to take me a long time to get through things. The best thing I can do is go online and chit chat with other folks. It keeps me doing this and not surfing, videos on, say, how Rick is showing me how to cook pancakes or something like that, and just keeps me on task a lot better. We can always watch those pancake videos, when I'm on my lunch break or something like that, where I don't have access to it. So, yeah, just try to paint more frequently and get on task. So, luckily, I'm not a TV addict, so it's not like, I'm not doing this because I'm watching television. So, yeah, my daughter loved those videos, by the way. What I liked is all those appliances that you had you never used before. That's totally me. Except I wouldn't have had those appliances to begin with. I've been a single guy before. I lived alone 11 years, never cooked, never went hungry. You do the math. I remember all I had in my refrigerator was like cold cuts. So like ham, cheese, turkey, stuff like that. I had bread, Diet Pepsi by the truckload at the time. What else? Like chips. I just basically lived off that. I think at one time I had like Pop Tarts for breakfast. I wouldn't even put them in the toaster. I would just go, just eat them on the way there. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't cook. I don't cook. I think I'd be good at it because I appreciate all the different flavors. I like, you know, it's not like I'm a steak and potato kind of person. I like complicated stuff. I just don't think it's, just so some of you guys think, hey, it's not worth spending 4 hours on a figure to paint them. I don't think it's worth 4 hours spending to cook something that you can just shove in your mouth in 3 minutes and you're done. Oh, and then by the way, you still have to clean up. No, I'd rather paint my figures. So everybody has patience for different things. Some people want to have the patience to read a rule book and rules or, you know. Okay, what else is left on this poor bastard? I know you guys want me to do one of these Little Big Man Studios decals, don't you? All right, I'll do one. I'll do one. If it turns off bad, it's just shit happens, right? All right, we'll do one. Just for you guys. All right, so let's go to the round ones. I fully expect to screw this up, just so you know. All right, he's got red and some purple on there. So let's not use a shield that has red and purple on it. And let's look at what other round shields we already have picked. Okay, we got this one with the Virgin Mary and a crucifix. See how it's shiny? When you spray paint that, it won't be shiny at all. And then, what's this one? This is the only other round one. Okay, well, we got the whole world to choose from then. Let's not do one that has orange on it. That's easy. None of them do. I like this one right here. I like that one right there. So let's make sure we have, I got two X-Acto knives on here. One of them is super sharp and new, and the other one is old. This is the super sharp one. Okay. I thought it was super sharp. I always like when they say, you know, a dull knife is more dangerous than a sharp one. Well, that depends. The reason it's more dangerous is because you're over forcing it, not because it's more dangerous. So let's speak the truth here, pal. I don't think this is as bright, as sharp as I think it was. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and switch it out now. We're not going to throw this blade away. We're going to keep it. Computer station there. And where is the little box? Should be right here. And there it is. All right, let's pull a new one out. And let's put this off to the side here. So this has a little plastic cover on it. You do not want to remove that until the very end. Because otherwise it's sticky. Now, here's the fun part. And fun, I mean the part that sucks. You have to trim around this. The problem is it's round. Okay, you do the math what the problem's going to be. So let's cut the fat corners off. See, this is why I use this cardboard, because if I was cutting into this self-healing mat, I would just cry. My soul would, you know. I just can't do that. I'm too anal retentive about that. These things are expensive. I didn't even buy this one. This one was given to me. All right, let's work our way around. So if I fail to cut this really close, what ends up happening is I've got extra clear film sticking out past it. It's not like there's going to be any color or anything. It's just going to be easier to apply if I do it that way. There we go. See, it's fiddly. Okay. That's pretty close. All right. Now, is this water clean enough? Because normally I would just go grab, hell no. Let's go grab us a new, go grab us some real water. Just a tiny, well, that's overkill on the amount of water. But, all right. Now the stressful part. Now the catch is going to be, is this center boss too close to the horse here? See how it's kind of touching there towards by the end of the horse? Hopefully it doesn't cut on any of the space, or we're going to have a different issue. Well, let's test for fit first of all. Let's see if that's even an issue. It is an issue. It is an issue. Well, wonder why. Wonder why. All right. Desperate times. No. No. No go in there on that. All right. Let's see. I have to cut a pretty big notch on there. All right. Let's check one other thing. Let's take a guy that is not done. Okay. But a round shield. Because it almost seems like this round shield is too small. Yeah, see, this is going to go all the way to the edge. And it's almost like it shouldn't. It's got a boss that's smaller on it. All right, we're going to have to punt with this guy. Sorry, that was a little bit of a tease. We're going to have to set this thing off to the side. We're not going to be able to use it on Sky. Oh, sorry. It just doesn't fit on there. It doesn't fit. I guess when I put that shield on there, that particular shield in that particular pose, enough of it is covered over. See, this decal, I would think that would only cover the white area. And then on the end, the edge, you basically painted a metallic color, like it's the rim. But this actual decal is as big as the actual shield, including the rim. So there's definitely not enough space behind this horse to get it in there. It's not going to fit in there centered. So we're going to have to punt. I don't know what that means at this point. I was seeing if I could just pop this guy off there easily, but it doesn't look like that's the case. You know, to put the shield on and glue them back on. I may end up being able to do that, but let's try this. Let's try this. Let's give it a shot. Okay, we did that. All right, cool. Hey, look, the bottom of the horse isn't painted. That's fine. We're just epoxying back. All right, now we can, when we glue this guy, maybe do it at a different angle. All right, now we can put this shield on here. This is the stuff that everybody encounters when you're off camera. You guys other people just afraid to show it. Hey, shit happens, you know? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to be able to do this right now because I need to paint more white than that's what's there, apparent, or it's not going to work right. So let's go ahead and get that done. And maybe we can get to that tonight. We just can't do it right this moment. So let's go ahead and go all the way to the edge. I don't know what the hell this is right here. There we go. Yeah, and Rick, you wouldn't be able to play with us because you're yet another German. We already have too many Germans. It's already like 5-1. So, no more Germans. Oh, man. We're just going to go all the way to the end of the boss here. Okay, now, This guy has, I guess the part where this original paint underneath it was thick. Yeah, let's take that off. Now we'll come back with white. We don't want it to not be smooth, because that could create a different type of an issue. A worse, different kind. All right. All right. We gotta let this dry now. Use scissors to chrome our transfer. That's just two tiny scissors. Use Scotch tape. Doesn't even fit on here, so okay. We will come back to this little guy. The only thing I don't like about the shield of transfers, other than you're almost doing this blind, is that you can see the center is not completely circular, so you're going to get some. It's going to have like a rough edges on the inside a little bit, and I guess you could come in here and maybe try to clean that up, but I don't think that that's. Oh well, maybe that was the right move. We'll go in here ever so slightly. Oh shit, it's a disease now. Okay. Yeah, I was not expecting that had to go all the way onto the end, the shield end. Yeah, and the problem with painting some of those things afterwards is you better make sure that the paint you use is super dry, because what ends up happening is capillary action will pull that paint underneath the part where you put the decal, and as soon as you do that, it's curtains, because it'll come in and it'll darken where the decal is. So. You paint the boss and edging afterwards just to seal the transfer. No? Okay. I'm going to leave this guy off to the side. I don't know how long that paint will take to dry, but it won't take that long. This will be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the sixth one I've done. So it's just scary. Unfortunately, they don't. Oh, that's not true, because I've done the spearmen too. I've done 8 of the spearmen. Yeah. Oh, and the flag. The flags are really creepy, because the flags you have to do it on paper, but you have to wet the paper, and hopefully you don't wet it too much, and then it turns into a spitball. So. Okay. Let's. All right, these guys are. I'm gonna go grab my spearman. not in my display case. How strange. It must be in one of these trays. Man, I haven't brought them out in a long time. It won't be in that one. I'll look for them for a little bit, and then I'll just move on to something else, if that's the case. Baking trays and a baker. Well, this isn't them either. Well, I guess I won't show you where this thing are. I wanted to just show what the decals look like when they were not shiny. You guys came over to steal my medieval Germans and took my early Russians instead. No, I'm not doing my first one. I'm not doing that on live. Actually, I think I probably did do my first one live. It's kind of a sadist I am. All right, let's give this a shot. I think this is dry enough. All right, let's check. Let's test size here. That'll probably work. And if it doesn't, then we'll give him a different shield. Yeah, so this is the back covering. It's just a clear, almost like Scotch tape, thick Scotch tape. Now, we're just going to take some water. We're going to brush it on here. And there you have it. But of course, here's the problem. It's not centered on the boss. But we'll be able to fix that up with some paint once this dries. The problem with these type of shields is a real one isn't painted as nice as this. Unless you're Michelangelo or something like that. You hired Michelangelo to paint all the all the shields in your damn army, you're not going to, it's not going to look as good as this one. So we're going to have to, after this dries, come in around the edge and paint some black and then try to do a boss around the end of it. I mean, not a boss, but the rim. But yeah, it looks nice, but it's not centered. But yet the hole is still centered there. It's centered over the hole, but not over the whole thing. It's not adjustable. Now, I might be able to. That's the problem is this hole is centered over it, so it's not going to do any good if I try to move it. You know, either the shield is miscast or something. But hey, we'll make it work. Whatever. No big deal. Right, so there's no point in gluing this guy back on just yet. I'm surprised the guy popped off so easily. I did put epoxy on, didn't I? Yep, there's a big old goop of epoxy that's on him. So we'll just end up epoxying his ass back down again. It's time to do that. Okay, that's almost 10:30. I think I'm going to call it a night. But I did want to show you that. So we'll wait for this to dry out probably in the morning. Not put really watered down black, put it around the edges, and then try to put like a little metal rim around it. And it should turn out okay. Yeah. But this is actually the one that has been out of register probably the most of any of my other figures. Because the other ones they're okay. And you see that shine right there? That's going to go away when you wouldn't. And then what is my other one? This is the one. Yeah, it'll turn out okay. Okay, well, there you have it, folks. All right, on to the Russians. So see you guys next time. And yeah, catch you next time. Good night, folks. Bye-bye.